you want to play a board game? Sure, why not? Do you like farming?
I do.
Do you like pea soup?
Not so much, but sure.
No. Do you like dwarves?
I love dwarves.
Well then, hey, I've got the game for you right here, baby! If you are looking for a game that is interesting, complex, unique, oriented towards cave dwarves, or farming, or building things in unique ways, this game, Caverna, is one you might want to check out. You are competing against your opponents for opportunities to place your dwarves on a game mat that give you moves to build out your farm. We're going to start on page number 1. There are 24 pages in the first booklet, and then we'll move from the first booklet to the appendix. So, all right, so here's the deal. Caverna is one of the most complicated board games there ever was. And I love complicated board games. I love them. This is the most difficult game of all the difficult games that I've ever played. There's a lot going on here. I couldn't even get past the first page of this 25-page rulebook without looking at multiple YouTube videos. So first thing you gotta know is, if you're interested in playing this game, and it's pretty dang fun when you do know how to play, you seriously got to commit some time. You got to watch like many other YouTube videos. You got to read the rule book a bunch of times. Prepare to spend 2 to 3 hours learning how to play the game before you even start the game. If you've ever played Agricola, you have a huge leg up because this game is apparently just like that. They keep saying that in the rules. They keep saying, if you played Agricola, it's just like that, except these other few things. I never heard of Agricola. I didn't know if it was a game like this, or I don't know what it was. It was a sport. I've never heard of that. So if you're up for that and you still want to play, you want to learn a cool new game, let's go for it. So first things first, this is how the game ends. You tally how many points you get. Points for farm animals and dogs. Of course, if you don't have particular farm animals and dogs, you get -2 points for each of those. Grains are obviously a half a point and you round up. Vegetables are 1, rubies are 1, there's dwarves and spaces and all these things. It's very obvious, clear information that you can just use right there. You can see everything's mixed up in all these different colors because I moved, and I think last time we played, we were all frustrated and just threw everything in here. Huge mistake. The game, as you're seeing it here, this is an organized view. The game comes disorganized, and there are no types of holders or folders or anything. So if you're just getting the game for the first time, plan to be confused, plan to be upset when putting it away. I'm even just trying to take mine out that is organized, and I'm getting upset and frustrated just spilling all this stuff over here. This organizer, it's nice, right? It can fit all these perfectly. Yes, it can. It doesn't come with the game. So you get this huge box with all these pieces, and there's no order to it. So that's kind of annoying, but hey, that's Caverna. I don't know why there's this dice. I don't even remember if there's a dice involved in this game. But it's good to always have a dice for any game that you do have. You've got, I don't remember what these are. There might be gold or little dagger things. Doesn't really matter. We'll figure that out. First thing you do is you take a deep breath. Try to relax because you're in for a long haul here. This could take you 8 hours. It could take you only 4 hours. So you get all this stuff out of the box. There's about 25 boards. They're double-sided. Everyone's going to get one of these that you have right here. Obviously, you've got your dwarf entry points. You've got your forest. Very exciting stuff. If you want to flip it and see on the back, so if you don't want to be able to see your board at all and kind of guess what's going on and be frustrated, use the back side. It's great for that. Exactly the same, but in the dark, you basically can't see anything. And it happens so many times where people will forget to pick up these pigs just because they're playing in the dark and they can't see because it's black on black, basically. And you don't even know that you're doing it. I don't know why they do this. It's exactly the same, like I said. So if you want to screw someone over, or if you want it to be really challenging for no particular reason, just choose the dark side, and that'll be funny. Even like little kids that have perfect eyesight, they can't see what's going on here, so that's really nice if you want some added flair. It is nice for everyone to have a scorecard. That way they know, they remember, okay, this is what I'm focused on doing. I think I threw away the rule book.
Did you really?
Oh, actually, no, it's right here. There's 2 rule books. There is one which is an appendix to the rules, and then there's the main rules. So they didn't put all the rules in the main rules, which is why there's 2 rule books, the appendix explaining the rules of the rule book. These aren't going to be very helpful for you. If you want to be more confused, read the rule book. It starts off by not telling you who goes first in the game. So that's where the pumpkin comes into place. What I recommend doing is each person playing, get a pumpkin for the pumpkin toss. You line up at one place in the house. You choose a line or something in the carpet or on the floor. Everyone at the same time tosses a pumpkin, and whoever gets closest without going over to that line, that's who gets to go first in the game of Caverna. If I miss something, if in the 24 pages or the other pages it does explain who goes first, please just link it below. Maybe there's a couple appendices I don't have. We are trying to build out these boards, and we're trying to make them as orderly and as fun as possible. You're taking these tiles, you buy these overlay tiles that go onto your, basically go onto your main base, and you're building out of either the cave right here, or you're building into the forest. And you can do some pretty cool stuff, like you can build farms out here, you can grow crops, you can get animals, you can have barns, all these different things out in the fields. On the inside, you can build ruby mines, you can build ore mines, all these various things. And basically all this stuff is doing is this is just allowing you to get points for these things that you're creating. And it's a game of victory points. That's basically what you're doing. So you're maximizing what you can do on this board. That's what we're doing here. So your playing board is this stuff. Again, very confusing, just like the rest of the game. Depending on how many people are, you're going to add different forms together. So this is for 4 to 7 people, 5 people, 6 to 7 people, etc., etc. So this is actually what the board game looks like. There's nothing you're going around to collect money. There's no free parking, nothing like that. It's literally just this stuff. Your turn is you take your dwarf. This is obviously a dwarf. And you have him in your rooms. You're able to play all your dwarves on the different tiles, basically. So you'd say, I'm going to do drift mining. And so what that does is it means you get a couple of these things from the bank, and then you get another one of these tiles that look like this, and you're able to put it on your board and basically expand out into the world. That's basically what's going on with this game. There's some other stuff happening where you can fight people, you can level up your little warrior dwarves on this board just by doing different things. You get different resources as you're going through the game. Each person is going clockwise, and they're able to place their dwarf, guy or girl, on top of a tile. Once you do that, that tile is taken. The next person can't use this one. They got to go to another one, and then the turn ends when everybody has used up all of their dwarves for that turn. That happens. Then there's some stuff about a harvest, I think, and then the animals reproduce, and then you get some stuff, and it's really exciting. It takes about an hour per turn just for the reproduction phase. At the end of the game, you all go through and you count up how many points you have on the board, and that's basically it. The biggest thing about this game is some of these tiles that you get these little bonus tiles, and it looks like these things. These are secret bonus rooms that you can put into this stuff in here. You can furnish these rooms. This is the key to the game. This is how you are going to win if you're getting really competitive. There is one tile of these, if you're playing the complex way, that allows you to build off of your own board. Meaning, if this is your board, you get this tile I'm telling you about, you can build like this. And you can do this all across the board. If you get this tile, you get bonus points for building across the board as well. You're basically going to win. So you can play this for 4 hours, but if you really want to win, get that tile that allows you to build off the board, and you're going to win. That's basically it. I can't find... Everyone always wins whenever they do that first. If someone else is doing that, try to stop them. for getting the bonus points for overhang tiles. So that's basically the quickest way to win this game for sure. And if you see someone else go for it, try to stop them from doing that. The other big thing is trying to get as many of these dwarves as possible. So this allows you to have more turns per turn. So each turn you're going to start with just 2 dwarves, but you can get up to 6. And so it just allows you to have more turns, allows you to have more production and stuff like that. So those are great ways to kind of play the game. I super recommend whatever it is you're doing on these game boards, try to focus on like 1 or 2 things your first time playing it. So these things are cool because it's filling out your board. This stuff is just resources. You can only do so much with resources. This stuff is kind of nice because it gives you like tons of resources of a different kind because everything costs money. It is one of those games where you gotta pay to build sort of thing. That's all in the rules. You can see, what it costs to build stuff. So don't worry about that. Or look that up on the side when you're ready for it. And then you get to do it again. Very, very exciting. All these pages, these boards are different. There's some random ones. Look at this. Depending on how many people there are, you're able to have all that happen. Sometimes there's no harvest. Remember that. No harvest. That's exciting. Sometimes there's like a soft harvest, I think. That's basically it. And so you're going through the game and you're trying to get more people, more tokens, all for the sake of buffing out this point card at the end. So there's different strategies. You can be going for a lot of farmer stuff. I think these are like gold tokens. You can like do a bunch of the battling stuff. Or you could be the organizer at the end of the game where you just put everything back together in the box, and that's an exciting game in and of itself. Yeah, if and when you do ever finish this game, it's pretty fun. You'll probably have a good time. You'll probably want to play it again if you still have friendships that are intact after this game has happened and you've dragged everybody through this. First time I played, we played no joke for 8.5 hours, and that was a long, long night. Very long night. But anyways, I played it probably 15 times. Pretty fun each time. To explain the game to a new player, if they play board games, it probably takes about 20 to 30 minutes. So if you are playing with new people, try to get at least someone else that has played this game to back you up. That way you don't have to be reading the rules the whole time. And if you are playing with new people, get the new people there at the same time when you're explaining this to them or watching these videos, because there's so much going on. You don't want to explain all this stuff, 2-3 times each time you're playing it. Make sure you get these organizers because that'll save you so much time. And that's it. That's Caverna. 1 billion pieces. Total disorder and chaos.